So today I'm heading into the Chobham Vet to help a rescue animal, which, as you know, is one of my favourite things to do. A lot of local rescues and shelters have found me here in Chobham, which I'm really happy about. And this particular young lady, she has quite an ongoing problem. She was found on the streets in a really poor state and has an issue which is impacting both her and the lovely people who are fostering her. Let's just say she's got a problem that it's quite on the nose. I'm Dr. Scott, and this is Rescue Vet. Foster carers Eve and Dan have come into the clinic today with their latest rescue, Wilhelmina. A young adult Maine coon who they've been caring for the last month, they've noticed some worrying symptoms and have asked me to take a look. Let's just pop up on the table. Thank you so much. Right, so Wilhelmina, initially by the smell. I'm imagining that this is a gastrointestinal problem.
Yes.
Right, okay.
But she's incontinent, so it sort of falls out of her. Oh. I mean, it comes and goes. Sometimes it's a little bit, got more, you know.
I think we've seen like one solid poo in about a month or two.
Yeah.
The rest of it comes out really runny, really diarrhea.
Right.
She's on really small amounts of food just to try and help her be able to digest it. And she's at the moment she's on gastrointestinal food. But yeah, I mean, she knows how to use the litter tray. She knows to go to the litter tray, but she just it's just really very diarrhea and runny.
She'll either go to the toilet and then come away and it won't have gone completely cleared out. So right. She's still got stuff falling out of her. She carries on running around. Otherwise, it falls out of her and she knows to go to the toilet.
Yeah.
So there's just diarrhea being dropped everywhere, essentially.
So it's quite a testing foster for you guys. I mean, have you done fostering quite a bit?
I've been fostering since May.
Okay.
So I've been doing it for a fair amount of time. I've had quite a few cats with me. She's the first one that's had sort of this much.
Right. The most challenging.
Exactly. Had the most needs.
Right.
But I'm just so grateful that she's the friendliest cat, because it's just made looking after her so much easier. So yeah, I mean, it has been difficult, and I have had moments of like, but she's been really, really good, and I really don't have many complaints other than like.
She can write a name in poo. Exactly. It's that liquid, right? Yeah, that's not good, is it?
Yeah.
Do you think that there's a chance that she has been given up for rehoming because of this condition?
I don't know. I think she's been on the streets for a long time. When she came to me, she was really skinny.
Apparently she'd been dumped on the street. She arrived to Eve like absolutely skinny, loads of parts of her fur were missing, shaved off.
She's really, really smelly as well. So I think her story was that she was found by a family. They'd seen her around, and then she disappeared for a while, and then she came back and she looked to stay, so they kept her in a chicken coop for a little while. They didn't really know what to do with her, and then they contacted the rescue, and the rescue took her in, and then she came to me. I think she'd been out on the streets for a while.
It's a black hole of clinical history before she was picked up off the street and put in a chicken coop.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, the great thing is my diagnosis is she's definitely not a chicken.
No.
Let's start with the basics, shall we? Do you want to come out and see me?
You've come to the right vets, at least.
Well, I don't know. Let's see. If that's as far as it goes, I'm not sure you have, but let's give it a crack, shall we? Okay, baby. Excessive diarrhea can be a symptom of many worrying conditions that would need to be treated urgently. So it's important to get to the bottom of what is causing this rather pungent issue. And you gotta love a Maine coon. Beautiful big eyes. Just that sort of the fur around the face makes them look like a lion.
She
sounds like one too.
She's very sweet.
She's got a really lovely meow.
Yeah, very thin though, isn't she? Even with your work on the nutrition front.
Yeah, she's
So it's very rare that you find a 3.5 kilogram Maine coon.
I know, she's very tiny. Believe it or not, she's put on weight. She came to me at 3 kilos.
Right.
So
gosh. And we think that she's about 1 to 2-ish. She just gets right. Yeah, okay, 2 as well.
She's very like playful.
Yeah, she's got nice, healthy teeth. I'd agree that she's young. She's beautiful. Wilhelmina, my goodness. Okay. Beautiful this end. Let's say that.
Luckily, we spend more time looking at this.
Yeah, a few, honestly. You know, at least you can, like in this case, you guys can blame it on the cat. Normally it's the dog, isn't it? So.
Yeah. Well, you know when you smell something, you're like, right, where is it?
Oh.
Where is it?
Not be able to blame on each other for a month.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you absolute troopers that take on a cat like this because it does test even the most patient of
it is very testing.
Yeah.
She is just so nice, and it just makes it so much easier.
Yeah.
Got to count my blessings, really.
Well, you guys are absolute angels. Just hovering the shoulders there for me. That's a little feel. So
we've been giving her 3 small portions a day, basically, which is really simple food.
Yeah.
She's had blood in her stool a few times as well.
Has she?
Yeah.
And is it frank blood or is it black, like digested blood?
No, it's fresh.
So red.
Yeah.
As a vet, it's always a concern when an owner mentions that there's bright red blood in the poo. It can be a small amount of bleeding from the back end, or it can be something far more sinister.
What I can feel here is just really thickened gut.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Unfortunately, in this particular instance, if it is inflammatory bowel disease, it's basically the body's turning what is supposed to be an absorptive structure into basically a tube. So it comes in one end and it goes out the other. It has relatively no functionality, and all the inflammatory cells kind of invade in, and they push all the enterocytes, all the absorptive cells out. And so it's like a hose. So a hose from the mouth to the bum. And the hosing, I'm sure it sounds like you can relate to that in her pooing. I think that we're going to have to do a little bit of work here and some things that actually are a little unpleasant, but get to the solution. The big element that we need to do is to address the fact that the gut is likely being infested by those inflammatory cells, okay? And the only way to tell that is by actually taking a sample of the gut itself. At the same time, we'll do a scan to just see if we can see anything more sinister. And unfortunately, sometimes inflammatory conditions can lead to the development of cancer, because cancer is a mutation, and mutation comes from sort of constant sort of stimulation, irritation. So that's why they come from radiation and lots of other different things. Inflammatory bowel disease quite commonly flips to something less. Not that things are much worse than this, but yes, that obviously is pretty bad. A lot of Oriental style breeds, unfortunately, are more predisposed to inflammatory bowel disease than, it is a more common thing. We see it, I suppose, more often like Burmese and Siamese and things like that. So that's the plan. We'll give her general anaesthetic, we'll scan her abdomen, and then, if there's something horrifying there, we might not move forward. I'm feeling that probably won't be the case.
Okay.
I can't feel anything beyond the thickened gut, and then we'll move forward to the gut biopsies. It's better just to go home, have a break from that smell. Eve and Dan are foster carers for Wilhelmina, and that is dedication, because this cat really, really smells. She is delightful and adorable and sweet and kind-natured, but my goodness, if you had to live with that all day, every day, I mean, just a few minutes here in the consult room, it takes your breath away. So not only is it discomforting for Wilhelmina, but also for those guys. So I'm doing my best today to hopefully get all the information that we need. It's information gathering day. Fingers crossed we won't find anything we don't want to, which is cancer. But if not, it looks like a very clear inflammatory bowel disease case. And by taking the biopsies, we'll be able to then spearhead and very clearly define what's the best way to treat Wilhelmina, and that will improve her poos, and it'll improve the quality of life of her and even Dan. This is Wilhelmina. She was actually found on the street, abandoned, and has had this very liquidy diarrhea and a lot of gas that you can smell ever since. So they've been fostering for about a month now. She has put on a bit of weight,
That's good.
but the consistency of the poos just haven't improved. So today we have to do a little bit of diagnostics. So we'll put her on fluids, take some bloods, and then we'll perform an ultrasound. And if there's nothing too sinister there in the form of cancer, hopefully not, then we will move forward to a general anaesthetic and some gut biopsies. All right? Is that all right with you? Beautiful girl.
I'm just grateful that Wilhelmina was found and rescued, and we can now carry out this diagnostic treatment. To live on the streets with these symptoms and the pain and discomfort she must have felt breaks your heart. And that's why I'm always so grateful to people in rescue who are saving animals like Wilhelmina, and then I can play my part and hopefully find out what is causing her problems.
Wilhelmina is just nodding off now. She's taking on some of the action of that sedation that I've given her. I just reminded about how much I love Maine coons. They're so beautiful. They've got that sort of statuesque, incredible look. They're so calm and kind, but they look amazing with those tufty ears and just that big head, and just everything about them is majestic and wonderful. They kind of are like the lion of the domestic cat world. So I absolutely love Wilhelmina. She's beautiful. Done. Ultrasound gel, just it's a sort of interface between the probe and the abdomen. So have a little look and see what's going on inside this abdomen of hers. It's causing all this mischief and upset. Yeah. Straight away you can see just how thick that gut is. To me, it's fairly classic of inflammatory bowel disease, and we also have a very large mesenteric lymph node, which is a lymph node that's wrapped in intestine. I can see that now on the screen there. Yeah. So that rope up to the top left there. Get it. So that looks normal, just it's large. Hopefully that is just inflammation, but that's why we need to do a biopsy, just to make sure that it isn't something that we don't want it to be. Now I have to go to surgery, my love, and take some samples of your gut. That's okay? Yeah? Pretty girl? And give you a bit of a clean up as well on that back end. Alright, thanks Jason.
Okay, I think the tent is ready.
Great. Okay, so you happy?
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Let's go.
So immediately I can see that the gut, well, I can see it, I can feel it, that the gut is really thickened. It's like a big tube, big thickened tube. It should be more like a flat bit of pasta. So it's really, as it looked on ultrasound. I'll take some samples now just to make sure that everything is just inflammatory bowel disease and not anything else. Let's go now. So I'm just using a punch biopsy to take little tiny samples of the intestine. So it goes through the outside of the serosa into the mucosa, it takes that full thickness of sample, which will then send up to the lab, and then I put a little suture to close it back up again. So that's a mesenteric lymph node that you can see before. It's probably the size of a very large cashew nut. So it's very inflamed. Hopefully it is just inflammation and not cancer cells. Intestinal biopsy done and 2 lymph node biopsies. So just might do the colon now and then we're done. I'll do 2 small intestines, 1 large and 1 putting the intestines back after we've sampled them. There's kind of a hairnet, if you will, in the abdomen called the omentum, and it's full of blood supply, and it's actually a great thing to use to make sure that your biopsy positions are kind of protected, really, and cared for. So you sort of tuck them into that net and then pop it all back into there. Alright, that's it, all done. You can wake up.
Now Wilhelmina is out of surgery and recovering well. Eve and Dan are back to pick up their latest foster.
Okay, come through. Here's your girl.
Hello.
Squeeze on in, team. That's it.
Oh.
So she's done really well. Woken up beautifully, so I'm really happy with that. Her ultrasound showed kind of exactly as we'd expected, so really thickened gut across the board. Alongside that, I could see very large mesenteric lymph nodes, so that's that lymph node surrounded in the intestine, which again, I'm not shocked by, because the intestine's mad, so the neighbours are mad, everyone's mad. So, as promised, I've taken samples, 2 from the small intestine, 1 from the large, and I've also taken 2 samples from the lymph nodes. So not only will we determine what's impacting upon the intestine, but also we'll see if something not very nice is impacted on the intestine, has it spread anywhere else. So we'll get a lot of information from that histopathology. It normally takes about a week or so to come back from the lab. Once we get the pathology results, it might be at that point I wouldn't mind seeing her, seeing you, chatting through those results, and then also working out what treatment plan we'll embark on. Hopefully, if it comes back as just inflammatory bowel disease and nothing sinister, then it will be steroids for life, but it will mean steroids for life and solid poos. Hooray.
Yay.
Yes. All right, guys.
Yeah.
All right.
Put you away. We'll take you back in the car. Be home soon.
So that's Wilhelmina off home with lovely Eve and Dan, fosterers with amazingly big hearts and so dedicated to take on a cat that causes quite a bit of mess, let's put it that way. And the smell is not great either, but hopefully based on what we've done today, they've been really brave to allow me to do what I needed to do, which is to take those samples, and when we get an effective diagnosis, I can then start an effective treatment. Hopefully she'll start to recover and we'll have nice formed poos for the future.
As promised, 1 week later and the results are in. So Eve and Wilhelmina are back at the Chobham Vet.
Yeah, we're good. How are you?
Yeah, good to see you.
Good.
How's she doing?
Yeah, she's all right.
Yeah?
We're good.
Good.
She's still stinky.
Right. Hi, baby.
Yeah.
Hi, beautiful girl. Let me put some gloves on then if she's still stinky.
She's still a little stinky.
All the suture lines and stuff, she's been a good girl. Everything's fine.
Yeah, all good, and it looks a lot better now as well.
Great. Hi, baby. That's my little lion.
Yeah, she's good, and we've got her on the diet now as well.
Excellent.
Actually, I do think that's already helping a little bit.
Okay. You're alright. Now it's hooey again today, aren't you, baby?
So, she's good with using the list trace, and she knows to go, but I think it's just that, like,
She gets caught out.
yeah.
Yeah. Can I see just on the spot like that? there's just a little bump there, but that's fine, just scar tissue, and it'll resolve in time. But everything underneath feels perfectly fine. Good. I'm just gonna pull up the pathology because it seems that my suspicions were bang on, and that we've got a definitive diagnosis. So let's see. Some of the large jargon is enteritis, lymphocytic, and eosinophilic. An eosinophil is a type of white cell that tends to come out when there's an allergic reaction, so or parasitism. So it's just an inflammatory reactive cell. Moderate chronic with hyperplasia, so that's thickening, which is what I saw in the ultrasound, which was that thickening. That's hyperplasia, that's what's here. Both the small and the large intestines, the same findings. And then the lymph node, thankfully, is just reactive lymphoid hyperplasia. So in other words, a big angry lymph node. Honestly, that pathology is the best we could possibly have expected and hoped for her, which is awesome. Is that baby? So what it means now is that we've gone, as we said, we've gone over the highest part of the hill now. Now we're on the downward. The end is in sight, because now we know we're fighting an inflammatory condition. We can actually mount a really effective response, and it will be in the form of steroids. We know that steroids will not only knock out those inflammatory cells and encourage in the enterocytes, the absorptive cells, which will reduce the diarrhea, reduce her discomfort and your cleaning discomfort and smell bombardment. It will also make her yearn nutrition, so she will put on weight because she'll be wanting to take all that nutrition and actually convert it into body weight. So we will see her get to her full glory.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait for her. That's going to be so good for her.
Yeah, so, you know, it is a really great result. I mean, obviously it does mean that she does have a condition which is lifelong. And that means that there's never a cure, there is only management. But the management is simple, it's cheap, and it's effective. So it's literally is the best options that we can have. So we can start her on that medication, and I'd hope within a week to 10 days, we might see our first solid poo.
Thank God for that.
No more writing your name in poo, Wilhelmina.
No more having to clean the carpet every day.
Or putting a peg on your nose.
Please.
Do you want me to get the first one down there? Yeah, that's fine. Here we go, Wilhelmina. This is the magic tablet that gives you solid poos. How exciting. Okay, so if I can ask just to hold around the shoulders there for me. Thank you very much. Good girl.
She's such an angel. She's so tolerant. I have to give her a bath basically every other day, and she just takes it. Unfortunately, she hates it, but she
there's not many cats that like a bath.
Well, I would never give a cat a bath.
No. Well, that's the great thing about cats, is that they're self-cleaning, self-feeding, self-exercising. Yeah, they do it all for us.
Exactly.
She must look quite amusing, I'd say, or wet. She must be just so skin and bone almost.
Yeah, she's like a little rat.
Oh, honey. You are so beautiful. Oh, you're not looking impressed. Mummy called you a rat. What do you think the future holds? Because I know that you're a bit smitten.
I am.
And you've done so well as a foster mum to not fail. How are you and Dan?
We really do want to keep her. We do. But we were worried about costs of maintaining, her needs, and food's expensive.
It might be that this foster goes on for a longer period of time than a normal foster, and I don't think you should be judged. You do such a good thing to look after animals in your home. So if it is that she's forever with you, great. If it's a good time but not a long time, fine. Don't put too much pressure on yourself.
We know that we can give her exactly what she needs and more, so it's not really a question about that. It's just a question of whether we think it's right for us.
And I think that's perfectly fair. That's a responsible pet owner talking right there. When your great home comes up, or just let life lead you.
Definitely.
I'm very hopeful that these magic things are going to make all the difference in the world.
Thank you so much
There
for all of your help.
Oh, no worries. My pleasure.
Yeah.
Absolute pleasure. And keep me posted. Maybe send me a video of her first formed poo. Yay.
I will. Woohoo! Yeah, I'm going to be celebrating. Everyone will know about it.
Well done.
Honestly, so
Bye, Will. See ya.
Bye.
So honestly, that is the best result possible. Not only is Wilhelmina now on the road to recovery, but potentially she also has a forever home. Fingers crossed.
A few weeks later, and the good news is in. Wilhelmina has solid poos again and is living her best life with Eve and Dan, safe away from the streets and now with the treatment she so definitely needed. For more remarkable rescue stories, please subscribe to Rescue Vet and give this video a thumbs up to help me help more rescue animals here on Rescue Vet. Bye for now.